You have stated to stop drinking water 3 hours before bed and then sleep for 8 hours. That means I'm going 11 hours at least without water. Seem to become very dehydrated going this long without fluids. Do I correctly understand your advice, and how will this affect me to avoid water for so long? Well, number one, you have to understand that the body needs to sleep. We are a mechanism, machine that needs to sleep and rest, and through all the work that was done by numbers of people globally who are sleep research scientists, including the greatest, Dr. Dement out of Stanford University, who wrote a brilliant book, The Promise of Sleep. He has 65 years personally invested as a top researcher on sleep. He, as well as my own observation and experts in this field, think the average person needs 8.5 hours of sleep. Now, average means some really only need 7, and some really need 9. But here's another little kinker. The American Cancer Society did a study on 250,000 people, not only in this country, but all the provinces of Canada, and discovered that people who sleep 6 hours and less, and people who sleep 10 hours and more, have a similar range of diseases. All of them combined are 3 to 4 times more disease than people who sleep normally. Now that sounds a little odd, sounds almost contradictory. Why do people who sleep 10 hours have the same amount of diseases who don't sleep enough? Quite simply, the common symptomology of too much sleep is depression. And so depression devastates the immune system as well as too little sleep devastates the immune system. So now we got the sleep thing taken care of. You should be sleeping 8 hours. So that means all of us, hopefully, are not up drinking in the middle of the night. Number two, why a lot of people have a problem drinking an hour ahead of time is because their bladders are weak, their bodies are not absorbing and being hydrated by the water they're drinking. They're making poor choices in the water. So now they have an interrupted sleep where they're up urinating throughout the night, or at least once or twice. The best sleep is a deep sleep for 8 hours. And not everyone can achieve it, but at least try to do something for 8 hours rather than be up urinating. In my life, as an example, in the morning before I leave the house, I have consumed 1.5 quarts of fluid. And you've got to start thinking rationally. That's a good time to do it because I'm going to be up for lots of hours. So that's that. Before I eat lunch, I drink approximately 16 ounces of green drinks. And when you look at that, there's about 1/2 liter, 1/2 quart of fluid again. Before I have dinner, as a matter of fact, before I got online here with you tonight, I just drank 24 ounces of green drink. And I won't now go to sleep for about 4 more hours. And bottom line is, if I drank 24 ounces or 16 ounces an hour before I went to bed, as healthy as I am, I'd be up in the night. And that we don't want. So you can acquire the amounts of fluids through food, through juices, through pure water throughout the day, but time it so that you're not going to interrupt sleep. And it's an important question you ask, because hydration is a powerful agent in health and a powerful, powerful creator of disease. If you don't have enough, you're in trouble. One of the points I make with guests when they arrive at Hippocrates, I very seldom over the years have literally seen people die actually from their disease. But to die from a disease, you literally have to have a vital organ stop functioning. And that seldom happens. When people become very ill, there's 2 things historically they stop doing. They stop sleeping well, which we just discussed. They stop drinking. And so a doctor, if we weren't under the constraints of legal systems, would probably notably put on every death certificate, or not every, but the majority of death certificates, that what this person really died from is dehydration and sleep deprivation. The longest anyone has ever been documented staying up without dying was 11 days. The average person, 8 or 9 days. Now, I'm not saying they stay up constantly, but they have constant interrupted sleep when they become very ill. So think about all of that.